Good evening, friends. G'day, Match Fixer. What's happening, mate? They do sound like a wet fart. You're right. The first time I got it, I was making very amusing expressions to myself as I was pressing the vortex mixer, something like this. I'll stop doing that. Welcome, Minimeth. Yeah, me too, buddy. I'm not looking forward to it. I just actually had a text message from one of my employees. So, hmm. All right. So we're starting this new figure today. This is Kain. What are we on? Exposure or focus? No, we're on focus. We'll just tweak this exposure fractionally. Cool. So we're doing this guy, but I don't really have a plan yet. So I thought we might just do a real deno way of approaching it and just blob around some color. But I'm not sure if I want to blob around color that is over a white or over a black. I think we might go over a white. So let's do a bit of a prime. Bit of prime time priming. Oh yeah. Working beautifully tonight, Deno, on Party Monday. Yeah, exciting times, friends. Exciting times. We're starting a new project. It's always fun when we start a new project. Especially one with this cooler detail. You've got greasy lank hair. What a legend. Hey Paul. Hey Paul. Hey Paul. Hey Paul. Let's go for a dramatic lighting because I quite like this already, that level of transition between the two. Yeah, I like that. All right. So we'll just pump this white up a bit more. It will do. Do I do all my vampires the same skin tone? No. No, I do not. I've painted a wide variety of vampires. And they're all usually a fair bit different. This time I've pulled out purples and greens for the skin. Polly, my leave was very good. It was quite relaxing. I didn't achieve uh, much tangible achievement. I did have some achievements, but I like to, I like to look back at a week off work and you go, yeah, I spent that time, you know, painting 20 Kingdom Death models or something, and really all I did was finish one model and muck around with some video stuff. But I think the work that I put in on the video stuff is going to be very beneficial for my projects and my plans moving forward. But yeah, it wasn't my favourite holidays. But I needed a break, and so I'm gonna chalk it up as a win. Stupid work. Stupid work. All right, and let's use this screen. Yeah, Moon Knight episode 4. How good's Moon Knight going? I'm just loving it. I am loving it. It's my favorite so far of all of the Marvel shows. Like I can't get over how much I'm enjoying it. It is top class. Yeah, Ocean Blue, why not? It is good to refresh, mate. Yeah, I needed it. As I've talked about, this year's been a wild ride from a work perspective. All right. So, I don't really have a dark color here, but I think that's okay because we are going to add contrast afterwards. So, let's just start. Let's make this side mostly purple. Yeah, I quite like her character. We will see where it goes from here. I think it's going to be a really interesting final 2 episodes. And I just really hope that they, because one thing we haven't really seen a lot of yet is the integration of the shows into the cinematic universe. G'day, Tanaflas, and that's something I'm really keen to see how they approach, because I think they've done something that hasn't really been done before, which is integrate film characters into shows, um, and that's been really really interesting. And I think things that have gone the other way from television to film have rarely gone well. So yeah, it'll be cool to see. Hopefully, Moon Knight and Daredevil, of course, integrating more into the MCU proper. Correct, and I think we've also got to account for the fact that there really hasn't been any new MCU films that have pushed the chronology forward in any way, in any tangible way. We've had Eternals and Spider-Man, but Spider-Man um, wasn't really the right avenue to try and introduce MCU characters, even though they did, I guess. They brought in Matt Murdock, but yeah, there hasn't really been that many. I mean, from WandaVision to now, the only Marvel movie that's come out was really Spider-Man. So there's a few planned for this year. So let's see how they weave those narratives together if they do choose to. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'll be there to make you smile. I don't need a fancy car to get to you. I'd walk 1,000 miles, but my love is all. Ah, Thor: Love and Thunder looks mad. So good. I love Thor. All right, we're going for a super thin layer on the face because I really want there to be no loss of detail in there with this ridiculous approach that I'm taking right now. Cool. All right. Yeah, I will explain as soon as I find out. It's an interesting thought, Tanithlas. I don't feel like they will. You know, feels like a stretch. Toby and Andrew both said they weren't in Spider Man. Everyone knew they were in Spider Man. Come on. Yeah, Chris Evans or thingy. I just don't see that. I'd be chuffed if they did. Probably. All right. Look, what I was sort of trying to do was create an interesting color palette that we can now work with um, to start building skin tones over the top and create some sort of sensation of lighting uh, a cold and a warm side, light and a dark, but nothing is really planned. Yeah, just tell good stories, guys. Hey, that's it. That's all we ask. G'day, Wampa. What's going on? I think the reason I'm finding Moon Knight so enjoyable is because I just know nothing about, you know, the character or any possible paths that it might take. Um, it's sort of it's an origin story, um, and I actually really liked Hawkeye mostly because it was a Kate Bishop origin story, and yeah, that felt really good. That's interesting. You would probably be one of about 10 people on the face of the planet that feel that way, which is okay. More power to you. It's one of the great things about life is people like different things. And let's look at a prime example right now. Many people are sitting here watching me paint toy soldiers. First of all, you're watching me. Second of all, it's toy soldiers. Look, using a variety of colors underneath, like I've done here, um, it creates, as I said, first of all, a sense of different atmospheres, um, but it also just creates a little bit of, you know, a bit of fun as a painter because you're not just doing the whole surface in the same technique or, with the same colors. So, um, I'm going to be varying up the colors that we do, and eventually the skin will get brought together. Is it last? It is first, isn't it? G'day, Jared. We will eventually bring all of these colors together with some airbrushing, and you'll just have the subtle notes of these colors underneath, probably, depending on how heavy I go with the airbrush. And yeah, we obviously want him to look like, yeah, weird skin colors and what have you. No, I haven't watched The Strain. What's that about? Gosh, I love starting a new project, eh? It's always so exciting. It's full of possibility. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. This could be the best thing I've ever painted. It probably won't be, but it could be. And that's just a lovely possibility to be staring into. It could be the most fun I've ever had painting. Probably unlikely, but it's just a possibility. It's a Schrodinger's vampire, really, isn't it? Until we start painting, we just won't know. It's good or bad, fun or not. It's a great quote, by the way. Jared, how's your diorama going, mate? Are you still chipping away at it, mate, or you put it down for a bit? Oh, lovely. How's the motivation? That's good. That's good. Yep. One of the best parts about doing a project like that is if you get bored of something, you're just like, fuck it, I don't want to do this anymore. You can just pick up, I'm going to make some trees today, or I'm going to, you just get to vary up your stuff that you're painting, which is fun. So when I first got into display painting, I wasn't very good, obviously, and I used to I used to get really enthusiastic and then get really despondent when my models turned out shit house, which I'm sure is a normal flow that everyone goes through. But my reason for telling this story is one of the first models that I painted, where I was like, oh my god, I think I might have just like reached a point where I think I'm actually starting to improve, was one of Carl Rudick's vampires. It was it was two actually. It was Elizabeta, which is the female vampire with the spider web um, necklace lattice, and then also Draco the Impaler, Vlad the Impaler. Um, and I painted those two models one after the other, and it was the first time I'd really done non-metallic metal where I liked it. It was the first time I'd done skin tones. I think I finally started to tweak on volumes. It was a cool figure that I was super happy with. Wonder if I've got it somewhere. Let me see. Our friend Bucks is going to join us tonight, I think. It should be cool. No, not there, Deno. Putty and paint. It's not, a straight up thing where you're like, oh wow, I'm fucking the best, but you do feel it. You're like, yes, it's starting to happen. No, no, goodness me, no. Well, um, no, no. This was 4 or 5 years before, um, I was streaming. This chick, maybe I did, maybe I didn't, maybe I did her second. This guy. I just remember feeling really chuffed about, the colors, the gold. The gold was looked really good. Um, just felt like I'd gotten somewhere, and it was a really momentous moment for me. But yeah, and then this this one, Elizabeta, she was sort of a bit of a homage to Pizarski's version with the red. But then I went full crazy colours, full Deno and the rest of it. But I was really happy with my medal. G'day Ramasquera. And yeah, she came cool. Yeah, the motivation for painting this in this way was the box art by Land Studio. It just absolutely cracked. It was cracked. I remember looking at it just going, no, no, not human. And I still to this day think that he's not human. Don't like Jamaica. Oh no, I love it. Yeah. Don't you walk through my world. Yeah, I'm okay about going back to work tomorrow. It's not going to be the best time, obviously, but we'll get there. No, no connection with Lord of the Rings that I'm aware of. I did also see Zelda and go, ooh, cool. I haven't painted an army in a while. Maybe I should paint an army. Uh, but I don't think I will. I think I will save my army painting energy on my stuff for some board games and some other projects, maybe some Marvel Crisis Protocol or something like that. G'day, Pascal. What's happening, mate? Nice. You getting on stream today? Oh, mate, I'm always well. After a week of holidays, anyway. Great. Everyone should go follow Pascal if you're not already. Very nice man, very good painter. It's a wonderful community on Twitch of painters actually, and the cool thing is they all get on and support each other. Not at all true, mate. Not at all true. Look at this sculpt. Look at the detail on his face. That's just sublime. Where's the comparison? Oh, you've got Moon Man, so he's a big boy. All these busts are 1 to 10 scale, which is big. I'm also enjoying it so far. Let's see if we can bring it together into a cohesive finish, though. Oh, g'day, Baby Jane. What's going on? Well, welcome. Nothing compares. Nothing compares to you. Suck it. Awesome. Any reason you took a break? Burnout? It's been 7 hours since you met me. It's always good to take a break. I was talking to someone just about this hobby and turning it into a career, and it's just tough. It's just a tough thing to try and do for reasons that you don't expect. Like if you want to get into commission painting, for example, you think to yourself, yeah, I'll do that. It's fun. I like painting. I'll just paint as well, and then I'll get paid for it. It'll be awesome. So you do that for a bit, and then you realize that you don't want to paint and you don't want to participate in that hobby anymore because it feels like work, which is sort of the obvious one. But then the less obvious one that comes out of that is your friends are all still excited about painting. And so they're all like, yeah, let's play games. And you're like, I don't really want to. So then you have like weird experiences with your friends where you're not really connected in the same way as you were. And I don't know about everyone else on this chat, but most of my friends are through gaming and through hobbies. So when I get to a point where I'm not connected because of that hobby stuff, it's sort of a bit, well, don't really have that much in common anymore, do we, champion? And no one really talks about that side of burnout and taking it on as a career. But anyway, take breaks, have fun. Yep. Well, that's what happened with my um, my groups of friends. Like I had a super tight group with my War Machine bros. We used to do a podcast and we used to chat, daily about everything in life. And two of those people were in my bridal party. One of them was my best man, and it was awesome. And then we moved on to Guild Ball. Um, So we were all sort of still playing, but a couple of them dropped out, and then all of a sudden we moved on from that, and we had nothing in common. So we just it was really difficult to stay connected. And board games has actually been one of the things that's brought us back together to some extent. It's probably not a good question for me because I'm not a full time commission painter, but I would almost certainly think that it's more difficult here for sure because of yeah, as you said, the cost of living and yeah, every Tomcat and dog, Harry and their dog, and that was a bad expression today, but every person that's decided to be a commission painter is undercharging for what they're worth. With absolute respect to any commission painters in this chat, you're undercharging. Um, and so, yeah, yeah, your living salary, your wage if you do it full time is, unless you're a Dave Colwell, just ludicrous. You wouldn't get anywhere near enough. I've thought about trying it. Just basically thinking about, okay, what happens if I lose my job, all that sort of stuff. It's like, how much money would I need to earn? No good. So this is one of my rules of commission painting, and I have a couple when I do decide to do commissions. But rule number one is if I'm going to do a commission, I have full creative control, and I get to decide. G'day, $2. Thanks, mate. I get to decide every aspect of the color scheme, the paint job, and that is it. And I charge an hourly rate. That's the key part, Paul. The reason people think my stuff is more reasonably priced is because I charge an hourly rate. I mean, if you calculate my hourly rate, I'm making a good wicket. It's just because I'm quick. That's all. I tell you what, I haven't finished painting this figure yet, so it may turn out awful, but this is a dream, an absolute dream to paint. All these little micro texture details. It's just, ooh, that's just fun. Let's see how close I can zoom into this face. Look at that. Look at that detail. Hey, nice one. how zoomed in that is. Surely I'm right there, friend. Surely that looks awesome to everyone else as well on the screen. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, crazy guy. I need a purple. So I just default to my default. No, let's use cold flesh. Cold flesh. Nocturne. Oh, shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your cold flesh. Shake your cold flesh. Ow. And a little bit of orchid light. Oh, shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your orchid light. Shake your orchid light. Ow. Then once again, your maturity and restraint is coming forth. Because rather than over squeezing, you just stop, grab yourself a thing. Dano. Fuck. Age has made a wise man of you, my friend. Very proud to call you me. Oh. This guy's got some great hair details, by the way. Look at his lank hair hanging down the back of his head. What a legend. Look at this guy's chicken neck. What is he doing, hey? Bok, 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 bok. Old chicken neck. All right, I'll tell you one of the issues with this much facial detail, right? Oh, second eye. There's his chin. Yeah, yeah. There's his eye. um, so you have a small issue with a figure like this, right? Where you've got all these incredible micro details, and then you come over to this area of the skin, and you don't. And what happens is it creates a little bit of a disconnect between these volumes, and obviously these volumes are the same creature, same person, so there needs to be a sense of connection. Um, and so you need to be aware of that and making sure that you're working in micro details and so forth as you go on the skins. All right, I haven't answered my most fundamental question, which is where is the light source? I feel like it's sort of from this direction, so we're probably going to have this area be in light, or have I done it a little bit more? Hmm. This is a Raphael 8404 Kulinski Sable. It's pretty good. They've been I replaced my Winsor and Newtons with these last year, and I got good mileage out of them. They're not as stiff and snappy as the Winsor and Newtons, but they get the job done. Ooh, 'cause you're hot, then you're cold, you're yes, then you're no, you're in, then you're out, you're up, then you're down, it's wrong when it's right. Hmm. Just feels like a crapshoot at the moment for brushes anywhere, I reckon. The old COVIDs. Maybe maybe the sable fur animals got COVID and their populations decreased. More likely, it's just the shortage of everything. People shipping. All right, we definitely need to move into some lighter tones, I think. We're just playing around in the mid zone right now, and I want to increase. Yeah, yeah. There's definitely been impacts just across everything, though, hasn't there? every industry. Yes, yes. Ooh, this cold flesh color. It's great. All right, we're going to do a full deno on the back, which is to say we're not really going to paint the back. We'll just do a little bit. We're on the same time zone now, mate. So I'll see you around the same time as me. Trust me, my head office is in Melbourne. I have intimate knowledge of this of the times because daylight savings is a dream for me. All of my meetings finish an hour early, and I'm like, you beauty. And now it feels like all my meetings finish just after finishing time. It sucks. All right, we'll have a play around with this a little bit more later on. I think the back. Maybe we will kick around with it a bit. It looks quite fun. We definitely will. Yeah, we definitely will. We actually talked about that in Dirty Paint Water the other day that we wanted to catch up with one of those meetups. All right, I think I'm actually gonna go for a bit of contrast paint on this side, just to darken it up a bit because I didn't get enough dark colors into the base tones. Just a bit too light on this side, so we're not catching enough of the shadows. So yeah, we will do that. So, what contrast paint do we want to use? Achillean green is always the best answer to that question. So is volupus pink. No, it needs to be darker than Pterodon. It needs to be darker. Add some purple to this as well. Some of the dark purple one, whatever that one's called. Shayish. A little bit on this side too. Don't want feeling too left alone. Hey, now I've got an important review question for anyone that's seen the following film with Michelle Yeoh, Anything Everywhere All of the Time, or whatever it's called. I've heard excellent reviews, but is it a film that my girlfriend will enjoy? Or is it just a fucking weird brain trip? She doesn't really like movies that are stupid. If anyone's seen it, I'd appreciate a non-spoiler perspective. All right, I didn't want the contrast paints to be used too heavily at the moment. It's called Anything Everywhere All of the Time or something like that. I'm going to introduce a bit of Old Rose, I think. Should look up the trailer. It looks very good. G'day, Northbreed. Thanks, mate. Yeah, it could be one of those. What would you like me to sing, Jacani baby? I feel good. I knew that I would now. I feel good. I knew that I would now. So good, so good. I got you. When I hold you in my arms, I know that I can do no wrong. That's all I remember. My love can't do you no harm, and I feel nice like sugar and spice. I remember that bit too. So nice, so nice. Sugar and spice. Dun, 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 bow. G'day, bun. No, I just do this for fun, Northbreed. There, this is just a hobby for me, my friend. But I have been doing it for a while. Here's something I did last year. Yes, indeed, Bunny. We are doing Kain, the first vampire. Got an opportunity to gut fill in today, so yeah. Hey, Benny. I love Carl Riddick's stuff. Yeah, he's he's up there for me. I think it was 200. Um, no, you're right. There was 100. Number 32. I don't know of a European variant of Magic Mix, but I will say this, mate. Rafael Pica had some Magic Mix in his studio um, in Massive Voodoo, so it's available in Europe, or it was 6 years ago when I was there. Did you buy this dude as well, Bunny? Have you got him? I didn't know you had him. If you did, that's awesome. Well, you get him from Fagone, did you? Maybe I feel like you and Benny didn't order from Fagone. And maybe you bought him then. Felipe Mena, welcome, mate. You've come to the right place to ask that question because the guy who organises most of the workshops that happen in Australia is present in the chat. So I can tell you there's no workshops coming up right now, as travel's still a bit all over the place. I've canvassed a few people for next year to come for CanCon, and usually we try and incorporate a class or three along with that. So at this stage, you're probably looking at January/February next year will be the earliest international painter we'll have. I haven't asked Darnell, but maybe you should ask him, Bun. That's not been being facetious either. Like, it's usually relationships that get the job done, and without bragging too much, because I'm one of the only people that knows a couple of the European painters, so it's going to be a harder ask this time around with COVID and travel and everything, particularly to Australia. It's expensive as all fuck. I would definitely rather have 10 million Northbreed. I will take 10 million every day. You could ask me any question. I'm pretty sure I would say 10 million is the answer, because then I would be able to have all of my time spent painting toy soldiers, which would be great. I am Ron Burgundy. That's a good question, Bunny. If you zoom in on my palette, I have ocean blue, dark green, wine red, purple, red purple, vampire flesh, ochre, basic skin tone. This is old rose. This is cold flesh from Nocturna, and then this one's orchid light, and it's some mixture of some of those colours. I've got all sorts of weird mixtures happening over here. So it's something involving some of those colours. Kind of a greyish sort of colour. Yeah, so far so good. It should look, better when we get the airbrushing done. But yeah, so far it's looking quite interesting. What I'm trying to do now is make these two colors sort of feel like it's just slightly different lighting on opposite sides. But I don't want it to be overt. I don't want it to be like, crazy lighting on one side, because I've done that a lot. So I just want to have something a little bit more nuanced. Look, I'm going to be the first one to say it. This guy's got a vagina neck. That is dead set a vagina neck. Well done, Carol. Great sculpt. Yeah, the sketchiness is nice. I'm not gonna do the normal airbrushing approach where I try and harmonize everything. We're going to be more focused on adding little pops of color um, to each little area. Something like that, anyway. It's made up, honey. You know that. Oh, he does. They're just down here. They just hang real low. I did sculpt eyes on my project. If you go back and watch my when was it? It was my Twitter. I wasn't doing it on stream. Um, my project with two other Carl Rudick pieces. I had to, like, 3/4 of the way through the project, sculpt eyes on a head that was already painted. That was a nerve-wracking moment. Oh, good question, buddy. I defer to you as the nipple expert. Would they? All right. Dark nipples it is. She is asking important questions. Questions that the people want answers to. As do I. As do I. Counterflash, you wouldn't get disconnected for that comment, mate. You would get lauded for that comment by Bunny. Bunny will turn you into a mod at this rate. Yep. Oh, do they sparkle in sunlight? They sure do. That's the only time they sparkle. Right, so we're just trying to add just a touch more warmth to this side now. Even though the airbrush is probably going to do some of the heavy lifting. Just a little more warm colours. All right, I'll tell you a little known fact about Big Deno. Little known fact. I am quite a voracious reader. I have been in the past, and I was traveling for holidays, and at the time, I had someone recommend Twilight to me, and I was like, it sounds a bit weird. So I read the first book, and I loved it. I loved it. And I was traveling, and I literally went and bought the next three books and read them in the space of a day. Enjoyable book series, film translation was okay. I mean, if someone said, do you want to watch Twilight? I would say, sure. I would. But I'm not going to volunteer to watch it. But the books are really good. The books are really. Hey, I will quite happily. Um, I will quite happily read those books. You get a lot more nuance, as is always the case in books, but you get a lot more nuance from the characters, and um, she probably obsesses a bit much about how good looking Edward is, but yeah, they're reasonable. They're reasonable books. Some weird shit moments though. Like, what about Jacob just deciding he's in love with her daughter? Weird. That's a weird moment, Jacob. You need to relax. She's like 5, mate. Just relax. I was one of the people who actually read the original like draft that she released, or that got stolen, I should say, and released on the internet. I read that back then. So there you go. That should give you some indication that I'm not joking about enjoying the Twilight series. Yep, it was. No, I read it. I'll just zoom out so you can see a little bit bigger picture. It's okay so far. We're going okay. We're okay. We're getting into the stage now where it should start to come together and feel a little bit more harmonious and homogenized. I don't read as much these days as I used to. Uh, when I travel, I take my Kindle, Kobo, and I read a lot. Which annoys the fuck out of my girlfriend. Because I will literally just read everywhere. Agreed. Agreed. I've read worse book series than that. G'day, Al. Happy Party Monday, mate. G'day, TJ. All right, I think we might whip out the airbrush now and just do a little bit of smoothing, just around here, 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 and here, just to give us some context of what those areas might end up looking like. Hmm. So we're going for this sort of color. It's like a light pink, greeny pink. Yeah, so we definitely didn't want to lose all of that nice texture and stuff we created, but it just helped to bring a little bit of clarity to the overall palette. Whereas now, we can go in and add some more highlights, start to look a little bit closer to finished. So that's good. Hey, or, hey, or. Okay, let's go. Thank you, Airbrush, as always, for your wondrous service. We appreciate you making me look good. Oh, they are unreal. Like, they are some of my favorite sculpts that are out there. They are just tremendous. Although I do think his absolute best piece was a limited edition. I've been painting minis for almost 10. No, I've been doing it for 20 years, but I've only been painting display stuff for closer to like 10, less than 10. It's like 7 or 8. I don't have an art background, no. I have a background of definitely not art. I am self-taught with a number of excellent teachers along the way who've assisted in my development. I don't like that brush. That's a shame. Yeah, it's interesting. How much the people that have influenced and inspired me have shaped my painting. Um, the ones that I've taken classes from have been really cool. Thanks, Al. Pretty happy with it so far. Oh yeah. Now, a Mitriel Fallen Angel is his best, I reckon. I was just absolutely shooken when I saw that. Now, if I can say, I've seen the box art of this figure in the hand, the one by Land Studio, and it indeed rocked my world. All the land pieces that I saw in the flesh have absolutely done my head in. He's just a fucking Fruit Loop. Definitely gonna go back in and add some more shadows into the face. But not for a little while. Need to see it all together. Good question, mate. Hadn't thought about it. I didn't have any plan when I started tonight. What do you think I should do? G'day, Jen. Yellowy amber. Yeah, that could work. I'll just yeah, we could do that. We could do that. All right. Probably a good observation. He would have milky eyes, cataracts. Um, hmm. I'm just trying to think of how to make yellow eyes or milky white eyes work with this skin tone. Yeah, I mean, I do lean towards red myself, but well, let's keep the options open. All right, I think we will do a little highlight layer now. And I might grab out a pastel color. I've got a color here called pastel pink or pastel violet. Will work. I want to suck your blood. This looks neato. All right. So what I'm trying to do with this stage is over contrast because I'm about to use the airbrush to add some filtered color. So what's the website we need, Bucks? Let me just remember. There we go. Alrighty. We're going to get Bucks joining us very soon. Just need to post that here. Yeah, so I want this to be a really vibrant layer of color because we're about to drop it all back down with some saturated glazes and inks.
Password for me, Mark?
Oh, it's yes, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Alrighty.
Oh, I see you. I see you.
Handsome as ever.
You handsome devil. There he is.
$2 is here, aka Andy B.
Hang on a second. Let me just go. Yep. All right, you're good now. Yes, welcome, buddy.
aka Andy B, aka the Philodendron Queen. Right here. Let's go. How are you?
I say welcome to you, sir.
Yeah. I thought that one up while I was sitting waiting. That's a little inside joke, isn't it, that one?
That is an inside joke. Wampa, you don't need to apologise, mate. I'm here to provide entertainment. You don't need to interact with me, mate. That is
Hey,
not a
Paul.
requirement.
How you going, mate? Hey, JC. Hey, Jared. How are you? Hello to the chat. Haven't seen everyone in a while. A little bit. Wampa, Bunny, Benny,
Al,
Mr. Transit, Al. How you going, mate?
Tanaflas.
Tanatlas, how you going? How you going, everyone? We're here painting an anemic vampire. Man, this guy looks like all he could do is get a feed into him, mate.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
he looks hungry, mate. He's a
He's
vampire.
thirsty.
He's a vampire, and he's been underground for a long time.
It's been a tough few aeons for this old chap.
Mate,
Now,
COVID hit everyone.
COVID hit everyone. That was me after 2 years, bro. Now, there's a discussion going on about milky eyes or yellow eyes.
What's your vote?
0.
No eyes.
I'll tell you why for yellow and red is because you're already like going high up towards these colors for the peak flesh tone. It's just going to get lost.
Concur. You know what does get much better than that, Tanithlas? When you live in Queensland and you get 3. We got another one next weekend. We got Labor Day next weekend as well.
Oh, we got another one.
Yeah, we
just had 2.
We get 3 on the hop this year.
Oh, do you get 3?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
It's good to be Queenslander.
Oh, you got to put up with that yellow black army up there at the moment with the polos going hard. There's got to be some drawbacks.
Indeed.
What's the weather like right now?
It's been rainy today. Okay, Bunny, thanks. You're a legend. We miss you.
See you, bud. So it's been good, mate. It's been a hot minute since I've been here.
Yeah, no, it's been a bit of a weird time on the Deno painting front actually. Like I've felt, I talked about this last stream yesterday morning. Felt a little aimless the last few weeks with my painting. You know, come down from the high of the gates of Hyperborea, and you know, haven't really found my groove back since then. But the passion's still there. I'm really pumped for this board game project that I'm doing. So
it happens to the best of us, mate. I think we've sort of had a few catch-ups in between, and I think we've sort of decided it's not just a you or a myself thing. It's kind of been a bit of a thing floating around, hasn't it? Sort of back end of summer.
Yeah. Well, the weird thing for me is it's not like I haven't felt like painting. It's just I haven't felt inspired to paint anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that feeling. Something I've been experiencing a little bit myself recently.
You know, I like painting. I like painting a lot of different things, but yeah, haven't really been able to latch onto something. And this project I'm loving so far, right? So this is just the shot of adrenaline that I may have needed, just doing something that's fucking mad. But yeah, it's an interesting hobby. You know, I think people feel like they have to force it sometimes, and
yeah. Well, I think it's safe to say that like emotions are pretty heavily attached to this hobby. No matter how much we try to not have them attached, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, forcing it is appropriate. Other times, forcing it's going to get you in a bigger hole. So, you know, you just got to give it a crack and hope something sticks. And if it doesn't, don't beat yourself up too hard, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm feeling a little bit of a little Aroba-esque out here. We've got a lot of lines going on, a lot of inbuilt textures to the skin.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a Aroba, doesn't it?
Just on that little piece there, just on that little arm.
All right, thanks for the compliment and then stealing it away.
It's there. I want to see it everywhere. I want to see those sharp lines just popping around. You know. Oh, this is probably a pretty good subject matter for Twitch, because you haven't painted a Carl Rudick in a while. The thing about Carl Rudick's compared to almost, you know, there's Carl Rudick and Pedro Fernando. Both of them have some strong similarities in the way that they sculpt. A lot of it being like they want to provide you a large amount of the texture inbuilt, and that's actually quite challenging at times to paint. So it's nice to see you painting it on the stream. Sure, a few people will pick up some things from it.
It is definitely a different challenge, but that comes with the scale.
Yeah.
Being 1 to 10. You don't see a lot of 1 to 10 busts out there. Most float around
No,
1
you don't.
1 to
I mean,
12.
I've only enjoyed painting one to 10 in my time. And,
Was that Bear
you know how
Crom?
you know how I feel about it. Yeah, it's a big undertaking. I honestly think that Benny's Boba Fett is bigger than 110 as well.
I think
Like
that's one.
that,
I think it's 1
that
to
was
8. It's
monstrous.
1 to 8. That one.
Mm.
I've painted a 1 to 6 scale figure. She was big.
Hey, we're shooting for some mottling here. Is that what we're looking at?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you like it?
I do, and I know that it's something that you have said in the past that when you do mottling, you feel that you don't quite land it because it looks too symmetrical at times.
Yeah.
I like it. I like what you're doing here.
Yeah. No. Well, as I said, I'm frothing about this project at the moment. I'm loving the colours. There's certainly lot of painting to go on. It's a big figure, but yeah, it's great. Tanithlas, you are correct, mate, and I talk about that with frightening, monotonous regularity. If you don't enjoy what you're painting, if you don't enjoy the process of painting, it's very hard to
Jen's
find enthusiasm to get better. So, thanks, Jan, the man.
Hey, Jen. Hey, one thing I want to talk about. You pick two colors here, right? That
Yeah.
when they're together, they do something really fun, but they lose something immediately. And I like that you've made the choice. So the two colors I'm talking about here is like green, blues, and then the in between being purple, right?
Yeah.
When you use these colors on flesh tones, they look awesome at the start, but they run the risk of losing all life, right?
Yep.
Now, yes, we're painting a vampire, so often these colors get thrown around when painting these sorts of subjects, undead sort of subjects. But even still, undead sort of subjects still have to have a bit of life in them, right? They still have to look like they're operating and functioning. And I think that red that you've chosen to use, I want, it's a purpley, like a magenta red, right? Well, I wasn't watching when you used it. What did you use?
I'll go through the colours for you because it's interesting. Yeah. You're absolutely right. You need to have life to the skin. There needs to be life, even if it's an undead vampire, because the skin is compelling and interesting, and what we're drawn to. So yeah. Mig back. What did you order? Did you order some of those vampires of the Blood Moon? Because if you did, that was sort of a pre-order. He's going to be shipping those in the next few weeks if he hasn't already shipped yours. But if you ordered direct from Carl Rudick and you haven't received anything, depends where you're based as well. Like Australia's always like,
Well, we're just munted, right?
yeah,
Like we're in a bad shape.
we get dead last all the time on shipping and stuff. Every Kickstarter I've had recently with from Europe anyway, we've been last.
Not only that, everything's getting tied up on the way in too.
Yeah.
It's getting tied up at the depots, tied up in the trucks.
If you haven't received an order confirmation, that's a bit weird. You normally get one via email, but I've ordered directly from Carl Rudick on probably 4 or 5 occasions, mate. Never had a problem. And I've literally spoken to the dude. He's a fucking legend. So, yeah, if you're getting worried, mate, just send him a message and he'll no doubt get onto it. But I would expect it's probably more to do with the that Blood Moon sort of Kickstarter taking up all his focus. Yeah, so I chose to start with a really weird combination of colours. I used this wine red, and I know you're a fan of that. And I used this dark green, and I used this ocean blue. I know you're a fan of that.
Oh, look.
And
so this has been fully inspired by me.
This
right?
is an Andy Bucks figure, yeah. So those are my 4 colours, and I used wet in wet and blubbed them all together, and I just created sort of a weird hybrid colour.
Doesn't like, and this, you've heard me harp on about it a bit, but when you like do some preliminary stuff, how nice does ocean blue and wine red sort of set you up for just seeing volumes? Have you noticed that at all?
Yeah, it's a good colour, mate. They're good colours.
Beautiful.
You just need to relax.
Beautiful. It's great stuff. Honestly,
they're just good
it's a
colours.
hot tip to the chat there. If you don't have those 2 paints, swing on down to your local, pick them up, chuck an order in for them. You won't regret it.
I just wanted to do a weird starting point. You know, I normally have
Yeah.
a pretty consistent approach to colors, and I didn't want to do just a normal, you know, like hard light, cold light on one side, you know, that type of thing. I wanted to
I've
try
run
and
that
have,
back a few times recently, eh?
yeah,
Yeah.
I've done it a bit. So I just wanted it to be like a little bit more, and I'll zoom out a bit so you can see. I just wanted to feel like a little bit more. You know, there's lighting there, right? There's natural lighting influencing him, but he's not like overpowered by the lighting, which is what you see in some of the,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
you know, some of the other stuff I've done. So that was the initial pitch when I literally started smacking colors on, and that happened because I undercoated it with white, and I was like, oh, that white looks cool.
Yes. Are we going to drop some harmonizing glazes through the airbrush over the top of this?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Is
Well,
that what you're going to be relying on
I
to
did one
protect the
already.
skin?
I did one already.
Yeah.
Just to soften a few areas. I'm happy with that. I'm probably
Mm-hmm.
going to focus more on color nuance, some shading and stuff.
Okay.
Really adding more colors to the skin.
Yeah, I like that. Are you considering maybe pushing some more reds into the face
Yeah,
around
yeah.
the
I
red
think
spots?
we'll
Yeah.
probably go a bit of red in the eye sockets and then around the mouth and stuff. But yeah, mate, this particular figure I ordered years ago, so I've had it sitting there for ages. So I don't think you can take uh, my ordering of this figure and the time it took as much use
So, hey, Frog Jib, it is
from
Party
you.
Monday indeed.
But I also ordered the Children of the Blood Moon, many models, and I have not heard hide nor hair about them, so I'm not worried.
How'd the Cowboys go this afternoon, mate? Did they play?
No, they played on Saturday night and they had a win. Had a win. Get up, Cowboys.
Very good.
It's beautiful. Go the Cowboys. Hey, thanks, mate. And welcome to the stream. What a great name you have.
Oh, mid back. It's a
Yeah,
good name.
it's good. Clever. I love it. Almost as much as I love a Mig back.
Hey,
Yeah,
Big Mac's right.
yeah.
The perfect Big Mac, is it the perfect burger?
Ooh, that's a tough call.
And the reason I say this, I think I've had this chat with Benny before. The reason I say it is it is like it's the quintessential burger, right? Like that burger has been burnt into the back of our retinas, into the deep space of our minds since we've been able to see, right? A
Yeah.
Big Mac's been floating around somewhere or other. So we like, but I've always pictured that burger to be like the quintessential burger. Like that's how a burger should look. Obviously, you undo that as you get older, and you actually grow taste and know what the fuck you're talking about. But
That's what a weird question. I love it. It probably is. It probably is. But I mean, I still love a Big Mac. I love a fucking Big Mac. I love the shit out of one. So I'm probably the wrong person to ask.
I've never punched two in one sitting.
Well, okay. So in my younger days, and look, this is one of the reasons why they call me Big Dano.
Yeah.
I used to go down to the local McDonald's in my lunch break, and I used to order. It was a family pack, so it was two Big Mac, two cheeseburgers, four medium fries, and four drinks. And I used to eat.
Whoa.
I used to eat that for lunch. Ah,
Right. Right. Well, I'm just gonna take that as a yes then.
yes, it's excessive. I'm aware of that. But here's the thing, mate. This is the scary thing. That used to cost $11.95.
It did.
Like it was a family deal or something, and I would just be like, well, I can get this, or I could just get everything.
Can we pour some out for some great novelty Macca's burgers that have been and gone in our lifetimes? I'm gonna put one up there, right?
All right.
Hercules. Remember Disney Hercules when it first came out?
Yep.
There was a Hercules burger that came alongside it. Might well have been the greatest Macca's burger ever.
They did
Did you have
one.
it?
They
Did you? I'm
I
sure you would have had
I
one.
did. Yeah. They did a thing
Yeah,
called a McFeast, which I was a big fan of.
I do remember the McFeast.
Yeah, mate. Love me some Maccas. Love it.
They did the Monsters Inc. burger, which was like a rip-off of the Hercules burger. I'd say those Angus burgers when they first came in. You remember
Ooh,
them? They
yeah.
were a bit of a novelty.
Ah, they were awesome back then. All right, that's a good question from Frog Jim. Let's dive into it a bit.
All right, let's do it.
Well, I think the important thing. Oh, the McGriddle. I have one of those in the States. I think the important thing to establish um, is that it's really dependent on the figure. It's really dependent on where the non-metallic metal is. You know, it's
Yeah, are we talking a suit of armor, or are we just talking like a shoulder pad?
but invariably the non-metallic metal will have more contrast than the other areas on the figure. And so the way that you get around that, and this is a crucial learning, absolutely crucial. If you haven't twigged on this yet, I can't help you. Value contrast and saturation contrast are two different things. Non-metallic metal leans heavily into value contrast. You need to use saturation contrast to differentiate the metal and the skin.
Yeah, I think it's the mastering of your volumes ultimately, right? Like it's how far you take stuff up. So if you're going to take your metals all the way up to like let's say it's a gold and you're going all the way up to ice yellow, but some people get crazy and go even further than ice yellow and mix in some ivory or whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
That's gonna naturally clash with the highest sort of values you're going to go on your skin tones, right? Like because you're sort of roughly in the same ballpark. You might be more in the orange spectrum for like let's just say Caucasian skin,
yeah.
but you're still going up to some pretty bright sources. And if they're both bright, then like you said, once they're both that bright, non-metal metallic's going to steal the focus because of the contrast involved in non-metal.
It's gonna have more of a value shift because that's what you want to do for metal to make it look like metal, more value shift. But
Put a photo in the chat, Frog Jim.
where you steal the focus back is by using saturated colors. G'day, Valodin. Welcome. And if you don't use saturated colors, then yeah, you get into a situation where you've got a non-metallic metal element which has more value contrast, and it's like, wow, that's awesome, it looks mad. But you've lost the focal point because it's stealing it away from your face. So you need to change your saturation. And so if you're not familiar with the term saturation, I know I've spoken to you about saturation, but for everyone else in the chat, we're talking about red colors or more nuanced colors that you can add into the skin tone, glazes and what have you, make the skin tone richer, more alive.
So, do you want to bring the image up or
Me, I don't really want to, but I will.
First thing I immediately see is that there's not enough contrast in the gold, and it's mimicking the contrast in the skin.
That is an excellent observation. Yep, it is. Yeah, you need deeper shadows in the gold. The problem you've got is not the highest value issues. It's that the metal and the gold look the same. They've got the same differentiation of values.
The skin and the gold, yeah.
Yeah. So here is a thing that I talk about a little bit. It's called the value scale. Right. So if you have a paint job and you have plot everything out in grayscale from light to dark. So you skin your areas that are super light, they're a 9 or a 10, and then your areas that are super dark, shadows, they're a 1 or a 0. What you've got is both elements floating around like 5 to 8, 5 to 9. And so even though they're different color palettes, they look similar because they're sitting in the same value scale. So you need to change the value scale for one of those two elements. Either start darker for one or start lighter for another, because they just look like the same thing.
I like his face.
Yeah, some nice stuff on it.
So yeah, don't go like, yeah, just the gold, mate. I wouldn't be fiddling around too much with the skin at the moment, apart from where you obviously want to smooth out and refine more. But it's the metal that's lacking the contrast, not the skin. And then once you put that contrast into the once you put those shadows into the metal, it might inform your skin more. You might find a few spots, I think, that are gonna need a bit more shadow. But
yeah, it shouldn't be a once and done. You should always be looking back and forth and going, yeah, this needs more, this needs less, or you're welcome, mate. That's the type of service we provide here.
That's what we do. Anyone else with anything they want to put up, feel free. I got something to put up. I'm a bit stuck. At the moment. I've backed myself into a corner on a semi-display model.
It's one of your Eldar dudes.
No. The Eldar's swimming fine. This is that little gnome girl that I was doing a little while back when I just sort of came back after the wedding. But I wasn't quite really ready to pick up the brushes, get on the tools. So it's lacking a very important thing that I find
skill,
like super paramount for me is if my emotions aren't attached to it, then
oh, Jan, which one did you start? Spira.
It's good. Oh, let's go. Give us a squeeze.
I love Spira.
Did you say lacking the skill before?
I did, yeah. I can't.
That was very cold.
It was very amusing.
Just come back.
It was very amusing. Hey man, just gotta launch a little bit.
Look, you haven't been into. It's been in my ribs every time we've caught up. He's been in my ribs since I got married. He's been telling me about how I've abandoned my friends and I'm not painting, and it's all full of shit. But
it's cutting you deep, isn't it?
It is. It is hurting my feelings because some of the people from Dirty Paint Water in will know that I've seen last night. I've been painting at Warhammer Army, but that has no power here. It has no value here.
No power here, Warhammer Army. Gandalf the Grey. All right.
Gandalf Stormcrown.
I'm gonna go check out Jared's diorama.
Yeah.
That's something I'm pumped for. Pumped.
Oh. It's safe to say that there's a personal investment on this, isn't there?
Woo-wee! All right, I'm gonna claim a large percentage of credit here because, fuck man,
I like you.
Fuck, I love being me. Now look at this. All right.
It's looking good. It's looking great. That's a good photo. It's a great shot.
It's a good shot, mate. I particularly like, and this is just a little observation. The grass and the flocking, it's just really beautifully integrated into the scene. It feels like it belongs there. Perfect. You've obviously done some airbrushing. Kept the tones very similar, even though you can tell the different stuff. It works beautifully. Everything's integrated in. The river looks okay without being great.
I feel like that's what Jared came here for. He's like, just tell me my tufts are looking good.
No, that is very direct feedback I gave Jared last time, so I'm pleased with that. Where I would suggest we need to draw, and this is a tricky thing to do, like on this type of piece. We need to really have a clear focal point. We need to draw some attention to something. Where's the story? What's the connection between these guys and the other ones? And it may be that the focal point is actually the good guys on the other side of the river. In which case you want to over contrast them. So the first thing you see is that it's like a spotlight right on that part of the scene. So you're just looking straight into that area. And you almost kind of want to highlight your rocks and your tree a little bit more, just to help further that shape towards the focal point. I mean, it's obviously a potato photo, right? That the lighting's it's hard to light a figure of that scale. Trust me, I know. So we've probably got a little bit more there, but yeah, I think really bright, vivid color for the good guys on the other side of the fence, and really create a contrast to the natural muted oranges warm environment with a really punchy figure. What do you think, Bucks?
Well, first off, I'll say that the palette that you've chosen for the environment is actually executed perfectly. Like, and that's not an easy palette to
Nope.
do. I think you've absolutely nailed that. Are you doing a background on this at all, mate, or is this just going to be we're going to be able to see the whole way through?
Don't do a background.
No background. Cool. The only reason I asked that is because that would heavily inform exactly what Deno was talking about with, like, if you're going to do vivid and then draw a focus to one particular. No, I'm liking everything I'm seeing. When I saw the individual photos of the footy, I thought that, like, he looked a little bit like he hadn't taken the skin far up enough. I can't see his face right now, so again, it still might be the case, but that might just be because of the way that you're angling it. So
yep.
you might be choosing that light to be really like pinging off the back of the head and the shoulder down that arm.
It feels like the light of
yeah
of the direction of the way he's painted it will influence that as well.
Yeah.
That's an exciting piece, Jared. It's
it is.
It's really
This will
cool.
be the best thing you've painted, mate.
Yeah, by far already for mine.
Yeah.
And just the integration of the characters in the environment is, like that's sort of what you were missing on the last one. The woodsman, the two elements didn't sit together, whereas these feel like they're together. One unified story, and yet you've got contrast. You've got these elements popping off. But yeah, you make or break now with the next figures, because and I can speak with a little bit of authority here, that the challenge is bringing all of them together to feel like one story, but creating a dynamic, difficult, contrast, differentiating the two elements. It's super fun, but fuck, it's hard. Nah, it's going to be great, man. It's going to be great.
Yeah, you're on. You're on the wave. You just got to ride it in now, man.
Yeah, ride it home. Ride it home, son.
Got to stick it.
Stick the landing. Oh, I think we might. Yeah, we're not ready. Not ready yet. We're not airbrushing yet. We're not quite there yet, Deno. Relax, mate. He just wants to pull out the airbrush and make everything look good. But no, it's not ready yet, Deno. Just relax.
Red and blues for the barbarian and dwarf. What kind of red and blues here are we talking? Are we talking sort of muted the way the rest of it is, or?
I really like the idea of blues. Really like it.
I like blues. I don't like red.
Because the blues will contrast really nicely with the orange palette. Really nicely. G'day, Dark Mind Miniatures. Thanks, mate. Yeah, really like that idea. But I would skew, my personal preference, I would skew towards a greeny blue, which will just allow you to bring some, warm natural tones into it a little bit. That's always.
For cold blue, hey?
Well, a cold blue might make them a little bit too different from the environment. Just a little bit too much. So I would go for a warmer green blue.
Sorry. I phrased that the wrong way. A cold green, probably.
Correct. Yeah. But yeah, make your own calls, mate. Like you're the one who knows what you can paint well, and I default to that because I know I can paint it well, which is a fucking weakness of mine. Paint some shit you're bad at, Dano.
How do you feel about it, mate? That's the question.
Yeah, for sure. Good question.
You got that feeling? The one inside where you're like, usually get it, I reckon, about half, just over halfway, where you go, I think I'm on here. Like, I think you back yourself in, you go, I think
Yeah, I'm nailing it. I'm doing
I
it.
think I'm cooking with gas right now.
Yeah.
Loving
Yeah,
it?
good one, mate. Yep.
Good stuff, mate.
Did have you shown Cult of Paint guys? Because you're like a super Patreon with them, aren't you?
Maybe we need to become something, don't I?
Like Cult of Paint.
Yeah.
I'm starting my YouTube channel, mate.
You are. I'm excited for it. The Cult of Crimson. The Red Rock Renegades. That was the lamest thing I think I've said tonight.
Give yourself some credit, mate. You've said a lot worse than that. Let's look at your feedback for starters.
I mean, my feedback was great. Get out of here.
Okay, let's go.
Deno's YouTube intro. I might fire it up.
Okay, I love it.
Brace yourselves. Don't be alarmed if your skin starts peeling inside out and you start consuming your arm. It's aggressive.
That's great stuff. That's Deno to a T right there.
Very, very aggressive. Mate, why am I getting an error claiming my points? What have you done?
I didn't do
Are you
anything.
sabotaging me? Are you trying to keep me off a hunch?
No, I didn't do anything. Now look, I'm getting into making some cool YouTube videos. You'll have some really cool new content coming soon. I've learned how to do all sorts of fancy tricks with my camera and with the program that I'm using. So I'm excited to do some video content soon. All right, I think we're gonna bring out the old airbrush. All right, so I'm gonna use a color called Moonray Flesh, I think.
It is a thing.
Scale 75 fantasy range.
That's the only range you like now, isn't it? From Scale 70?
Oh yeah.
Is that the one you lean into?
I use them predominantly through the airbrush because the colors like peanut butter and they're just really nice they're slightly translucent, satiny sort of colours, and I think they have a really interesting finish. So I like using them for this sort of purpose. This one's like a really warm, natural skin. Gonna fucking move this fucking thing away so I can actually see what's happening. Come on, Dano. All right. I think about it every night and day. Okay, that's a good start. So now I just want to add something with a little bit more pink and white.
Oh fuck!
What?
The classic took the lid off. The dropper part was stuck on the inside of the lid.
Oh, yep.
And so we just have plenty of old rose on the palette right now.
Love a bit of old rose.
Yeah, I'm gonna mix it into some green. Try and get a nice highlight color. I think if you go too much into the yellows or into the ice yellows for green, it just ends up looking like that minty color.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I've gone relatively light here with these colours. G'day, All Might. Thank you, buddy. I'm doing very well because we're now about to go into the saturation. So we're going to put some greens and some reds and some magentas back into the skin.
Population saturation.
Population saturation.
Hey, All Might, how you going, buddy?
Old fucking Deno town. So let's find some good ones we can use for population saturation. I like it. It's a good expression, Bucks. Could be a new Deno tagline, mate.
New population saturation.
Yeah.
That's as good as Texture Town.
Texture Town.
Yeah. Take it to Texture Town. Yeah.
Oh, all right. We're going to try this one. This is called Bloodfest Crimson, another scale fantasy color. This is a purpley, reddy color. I like it.
I'm going to treat myself to a vortex mixer. Do you know why?
Because you're worth it?
Because I can't. Very much, but no. Because speaking of peanut butter, I was using it the other day and I was like, fuck me, I did not shake this anywhere near enough. This sucks, eh? But I didn't, I wasn't going to go back and reshake it up and load it up, so I just suffered.
All right, so
I don't want to suffer like that again.
You've become a member of the saturation generation, my friend.
Indeed, the saturation generation. The population of the saturation generation is just the two of us.
Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. You and I. Just the two.
It is no secret that we both lean into that quite heavily. And maybe I was informed by yourself. Maybe just like Pitch. Switch. Dash.
All right, so we've added some skin nuance there with the Bloodfest Crimson. Big Den I like. G'day JW Miniatures. Wee, what is happening, my friend? All right, I am now going to move into possibly my all-time favorite color. And if you're not familiar with this, that's because you haven't been following me for a long time. I haven't talked about this color much, and I haven't used it much recently because I just went on an absolute fucking rampage with it for a long time. It's called Despair Green. It is just an absolute mint color. Look at it. Look at how crinkled up this fucking label is.
Jesus.
There's hardly any left in it.
What even is it? What is it? Is it like a scaly green?
Oh, it's scaly green. Yeah, it is a fucking mint color. It could be even better than peanut butter, like in terms of how much I like it. I replace it. It's almost like a Killian green. Oh, we're getting to the very end. Come on, Dino. All right, we'll do it that way. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. And I'm going to leave a little bit of that Bloodfest Crimson in there. Look at this. Look at this magnificence.
Oh, you know what that's ended up a lot like? That's ended up a lot like periscopes.
What's periscopes?
Periscopes is a fucking banger of a color that came out of the Panzer Aces range. I think Daniel Heraldez loves to use that one. Still a bit of work for you.
It is. All right, and now I think we're going to do a little bit of... This might sound like a weird choice, but I feel like I'm going to add some orange. And we'll use a contrast paint for this. Let me see if I'm feeling this. Yep, right, that's good.
I'm dead set hating this little fucker.
Put it away, son.
I've never put like I've put it away. I put it away for a while. I just have to get this thing done.
Oh yeah. All right. Any other thoughts, Bucks? Any other colours you reckon maybe?
I still think it needs a stronger like red in the face. I don't know why. It's just.
You got it. All right. Do I want to airbrush that though?
Nah, brush.
Okay. Maybe I will add some.
I feel like he'd benefit from having quite sunken eyes.
Yeah. Maybe I will add. I don't think I want to go too much more airbrush. What I might do is actually just add a little bit more of that moonray flesh just in some areas. Hey, Mittens, you absolute rock star. What's going on?
Tell you what, my brushes are starting to scream for some relief. Doesn't seem to be easy to get what you're looking for at the moment.
Me?
No, just in general, brushes, like getting brushes.
Oh yeah, brushes. Brushes are fucked at the moment. I found some Raphaels that were worked really well. So I went and bought like 10 of them, and I haven't needed any more since. But yeah, I'm getting close to needing to go back and find some brushes, which is not something I'm looking forward to. Okay, I'm going to paint the metal elements in a blackish color. I might actually use dark sea blue today for that, since someone just talked about it. Because I can. And that should help us get a better gauge on the skin. So at the moment, I think we've got enough colour in the skin, but that may change. I need more, I need less.
So let's talk about Moon Knight.
Oh, let's.
Are you loving it so far?
I'm loving the shit out of it.
Is it just that Oscar Isaac's just carrying the fuck out of it?
He is killing it, hey.
Yeah.
He is killing it. Because you genuinely believe that he's two different people.
Yeah. So when you watch stuff, you like to do research.
Yeah.
It's a trait of yours. Have you done any research?
I've done a little, yeah.
A little dash. So how deep have you gone? Like, have you got to the point where there's three
I have, yes.
personalities?
I have, yes.
You like that little spoiler alert for people? You like that little nod to it?
I sure did. Yeah, no, I was pumped at the end of that episode. I was just like, what the fuck is going on? But I'm so in. I'm so in. You know?
Yeah, actually, I think I've done Ethan Hawke dirty.
Oh, he's unreal.
He's fantastic. Yeah. Oscar Isaac isn't carrying it.
He's tremendous. I mean, I even like Layla. More so because of the latest episode. But yeah, just everything about the show is doing it for me, man.
You enjoying more Steven or more Mark?
I find both awesome.
Yeah.
I don't want to say, but like Steven cracks me up. Now I watched the first episode and I was just like, oh man, who the fuck is this guy? Like, why are they doing this show? Like, I don't want to waste my time with a show that's just going to be fucking trash, And I was like, but it's Marvel, so it's unlikely to be trash. And I watched the first episode at the end of it. I was just like, this show is awesome. and yeah, it's just continued to improve. I feel that, yeah, there's been very few moments where it hasn't been, really good viewing, compelling viewing. So
I think it helps that the source material is really good for it as well. Like I was not, my first, like, this is going to sound pretty bad, but the first place I saw Moon Knight was in Marvel Crisis Protocol. I was like, who's this guy? He's pretty cool.
So did you go and buy some comics with him or something? Or?
No. I just sort of, like, that's just where it was. I just sort of was like, oh, that's a cool looking character. Like, I like the way he looks. And then when I saw there was a TV show coming, I was like, shit, that's kind of cool. Like, see what that's about. So I didn't know it was all like Egyptian motif and all that sort of stuff. And I quite enjoy that about it.
I'm with you.
I'm a sucker for anything gods related as well.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
pretty easy
yeah,
mark for that sort of stuff.
yeah. Yeah, no, I'm all over the Egyptian. Love it. Very, very excited to see the final 2 episodes. Should be.
It's scaled down to 6, isn't it?
Oh no, all the Marvel shows have been 6.
Have they? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have it be a rusty metal. Al, for this thing.
I've been terrible when it comes to watching Marvel TV shows.
Have you watched any of them other than Moon Knight or?
No,
Really?
no, yeah.
Oh.
Mate, I'm pulling a Benny right now. I'm so far behind on so much stuff.
Hawkeye was surprisingly good. Loki was awesome, and really, you probably need to watch that before we move into the Multiverse of Madness, which comes out in about 2 weeks.
I'm looking forward to that movie.
Yeah, you really need to get up to speed on a couple of them then.
All right, lay it out for me.
Uh,
And I'll catch up as best I can.
well, WandaVision was awesome, but the only thing you really need to know out of that show is that she ends the show knowing the Scarlet Witch, who the Scarlet Witch is, and
Yeah,
that's like pretty much all the show does. It says that and a few other things, but
yeah. She gets a suit at the end of it and stuff, doesn't she? Is that where it all starts or something?
yeah, sort of. The show's good, so don't yeah, take it to mean that I don't think the show's good, but yeah, it the purpose that it serves for the greater narrative is that she becomes a Scarlet Witch, and
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Mig, back for following me on this back channel. Loki's been was really good. Paul didn't like it evidently, but I thought it was awesome. And probably was the most impactful in terms of what it's going to do for the entire cinematic universe over the next few movies and so forth. So that one probably essential viewing. Yeah, they're probably it's probably just Loki. You get away without watching any of the others.
Easy. I've heard Morbius a bit of a bust. Did you see it?
No. But yeah, Daz, one of my mates, went and saw it, and they sat me down. They were like, Deno, we are not going to talk about Morbius until you've seen it. We want to talk about it with you. I just looked at them and they were trying to maintain a straight face, and I was just like,
Yeah.
It's the worst movie you've ever seen, isn't it? And they were like, yeah, literally the worst movie we've ever seen. And I was like, cool. Probably give that a big miss then, friends. Oh, Wampa saw Spider-Man. You've seen Spider-Man, haven't you, Bucks?
Yeah. I watched it like a week after I got married, so like 3-4 weeks ago.
The best.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yep.
It's a bit manic, but I've said that last time. I think that was the last time we sort of caught up. Was on stream. Was I just finished watching that.
Okay. Cool. It was fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The colors for the warm flesh. I can't really, mostly because I don't know at what point I use what, but every part of this model has been done on stream, mate. Every single minute of tonight's stream has been painting this gentleman, and I started him tonight. So you should be able to watch the stream back and get a bit of an idea what colors I used. but it's been very free flowing paint job so far.
It's a bit of vibe.
Yep, that it has.
So what else is it going, mate? Keep me up to speed because I've been shocking. Has there been any ranges, any lines, any Kickstarters, any paint jobs that have been?
Well, the Chimera Kickstarter's on now. For Tenebrae.
Yep.
Couple of really nice figures. Some mounted a mounted necromancer chick, which is quite awesome. Really like the barbarian chap. Probably not going all in.
Is there a range of colours coming?
And
like that?
there is a couple of ranges as well. So you've got a full Robert Carlson set and a full Fabrizio set, and then they're bringing out another 6 set which has colors from 6 individual painters. So Swinson's got a color, Maskelyns has got a color, a couple of other painters have got colors. So that's probably the biggest draw card for me at the moment on the Kickstarter, is being able to tap into some of those paints. Yes, I am indeed a seat of the Panther. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the pledge manager and deciding what I want to buy. But at this point in time, I'm in for about €400. But I think I'm going to drop that down, and maybe only get a couple of paint sets and maybe 1 or 2 of the figures. So I'll probably only be in for 150-ish, I think. Thanks, Paul. And the figures are awesome. Like I'm not down on the figures. I'm just, when I go all in on something like that, it's because I want to put it all together. And I didn't
for a die.
Yeah, and I didn't feel I could do that with the pieces that they had on offer. So
you mentioned to me the other day that you've gone up to 5 die.
yeah.
Let's talk about that.
All right.
Because last time I checked, it was 3.
Yeah. So the first one is Scale 75, the Zodiac Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Got a reasonable vision for that. Like I think I can see what that's going to look like in my head. So that's cool. We've got the Nico Galaxy.
Yep.
Kickstarter.
These are the 2 I knew about, plus our one.
Yeah, the third one is our Orcs. The fourth is one that I talked about on stream last night, which is the vampire, or yesterday. The vampires from Karl Rudik, because he did his little thing. So I bought like 7 of them, and I think that's actually going to be the one I'm going to do next, because I've got a really clear vision in my head for how I'm going to do that. And they're probably going to arrive in the next month or 2. And then 1, 2, 3.
That's 4.
4. Have I got another Kickstarter coming? I don't think so. The 5th one might just be the Orc Tribe that I've got, not our pirate one, but I've got
that one's the one that you've thought about for a while.
Yeah, that one's sort of still percolating. I haven't really got a clear idea for that one yet. But yeah, I think I'm going to try and do 3 of them this year. The first being the vampires, the second being Scale 75, and the third being that one. Not in that order necessarily.
So I had a think about I had a quick just thing pop into my head then about our Orcs, and that is if we get stumped in regards to getting the base, doing the base for it all in 2 different states, because that's probably the biggest challenge, right?
Yeah.
Then you could just do the base, and I'll just send them up to you.
That could work.
Yeah, that could work. and I'll be like a stream passenger, you know. That's if we get stuck. If we come up with a pretty sad.
I think we'll be all right, mate.
Yeah.
It's not my first rodeo.
No, it is mine.
You'll be fine. Look at how easy Jared's picking it up, mate.
Yeah. Let's just hope I can paint this fucking gnome. Let's start there, eh? Jesus.
Yeah, let's just start painting something, mate. You're not filling me with confidence about wanting to fucking start a diorama with you, mate, when you can't even paint a little halfling.
It's all right. I'll restore faith.
All right.
I'll come back like a phoenix.
Like a phoenix rising from the ashes. What's the score, Lopez? Storm running rampant, are they?
The Jag. Oof.
Oh,
Who are they running a trade on?
the Warriors.
It's fine. Are the Warriors terrible?
Yep.
Haven't they been terrible for like ever?
Yep.
They're as bad as the Titans, right?
Yeah,
Is anyone as bad as the Titans?
there's a lot of bad teams in there, mate. Boy, I think about it every night and day. I just can't get enough. Get in, get 70. Go, Stormies.
Who's your most despised teammate? Which team when the
Manly.
Cowboys take an L?
Manly
do you not
Magic.
take?
Manly. I hate Manly. Fucking hate Manly. And Randall knows it too. That's his team. Is he starting to look like Voldemort, is he? Oh, 70 to 10. Lunatics. All right, Bucks. Do we want red mouth or do we want red nose?
I'm just gonna say this, right? For vampires, I'm a massive fan of black males.
Ooh, I like that idea.
I'm a massive fan for the black tarry sort of look.
Oh yeah.
Like slick. I love that. Which allows you then to get mad contrast with red nose and red under eyes.
All right. Black mouth.
Let me see if I can find something like a black tar vampire mouth. Let's get some inspiration.
The mouth of Sauron is spot on, Jared. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Jared.
Mouth
You're
of
the man.
Sauron.
What a legend.
You give the guy the diorama advice, and all of a sudden he's coming out with great stuff left, right, and center.
Oh, the mouth didn't actually have black, eh? I'm looking at it now. It's all quite red. No, there's a bit of black there. Yeah. Yeah. Trying to see if there's something dialed up to 100 for that. I'm going to send a few on to you. I got a couple.
All right.
Javier, you handsome man. This probably my favourite.
G'day, Dave Dog. What's happening, mate?
The Javier one is right on.
Look around at the sky. There's an icy shade of winter. Bucks, just a little special one for you there, mate.
What was that?
Doesn't matter.
That song?
Yeah, no, it's all good. Just related to the conversation we were having earlier.
Ah. Well played, my friend. Well played. Very good.
Yeah. Okay. I'll be here all week.
I reckon if Benny had a drink in his mouth, he just spat it out just then. All right, pull up these images that I've seen you on disc.
All right. All right.
Just two at the moment. Strong enough for both of them. Sure. Javier one's better.
Oh, the penguin. Nice. Yeah, buddy. Okay, let's go. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, I dig that. I dig that. Yeah, I like that plan. I think that'll work well. Let's do that. Black mouth, tarry mouth look. We'll make it slick and glossy too.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, like he's been maybe he's been feeding on something that he shouldn't have been, you know? Like the hunger's got to him.
You know what jumps to mind is that Gollum eating a fish moment. You know that?
Yeah, as he's fucking pounding it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to taste the juicy sweet.
That's the only line I remember as well. How would you like to catch a fish?
So juicy sweet. All right.
I'm calling on the power of contrast to bail me out of this paint job.
Yes. I'm a member of that school. I do love it.
Have stocks risen? Like, are they back in regards to our beautiful Tamiya?
The
TS80?
Yeah, I managed to pick up a 6-pack the other day.
Ooh.
Of Tamiya, which for me is better than beer. Better than picking up a 6-pack of beer.
I agree. You get a 6-pack of beer anyway. You can't get a 6-pack of Tamiya or anything.
Yeah. No, I went to Hobby Rama and I was like, they had a restock of all their stuff, and I was looking everywhere. I was like, oh, no TS80. Their fuckers have sold it, haven't they? So I went over to the dude. I was like, oh, there's no TS80 on the shelf. Did you get any in? And he's like, yeah, I think so. And he checked and he was like, oh, sure there's none on the shelf? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, it must be in the cupboard. So he went into the cupboard and he pulled out a box of 6. He's like, oh, awesome. He starts to open it. How many do you want? I said, I'll have 6, thanks. And he's like, cool.
One of those moments where you don't know whether to be angry or kiss him, right? You're like, what the fuck is this not on the shelf? Wait a minute. I'll take all of it.
Yeah. And then he's just like, okay, cool. So that was great. It was a great day.
Sunny skin tone really is just a color, isn't it? My God, does that color do work?
What one? Sunny skin tone. Oh yeah, it's unreal. But you can get away without it. Check this out. I haven't used Sunny Skin Tone this guy at all.
Nah, but you wouldn't, because the orange wouldn't work for you.
Yeah.
Right?
How are you feeling about this? I feel like it's really starting to come together now.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's got the it's talk about like something to talk about is making sure that you get your environment right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know how I was talking about at the start, like I wanted it to feel like just different light is impacting him from different sides, and it doesn't feel like the skin tones aren't the same dude. It just feels like he's got different light, which I'm chuffed with. I think it's super cool.
Now he would be a real candidate, like for a big red underlight or a big red teal light, but I reckon restraint away from those two.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lean into that. He would be awesome with that, but no,
Yeah.
we're gonna steer away from something overt. We're gonna try and be a little more sophisticated and subtle. My middle name.
Sophisticated or subtle?
Both.
All members of population saturation, the population saturation generation. Subtle is not a word that you can have associated with you.
So you asked an interesting question before about painting a piece like this, which has lots of little micro details. The way that I approach it is actually no different, but I find this type of figure to be easy to paint. And when I say no difference, because I use a lot of washes, like a lot of contrast paints and stuff, and the contrast paints actually elevate this type of sculpt because it brings out those micro details almost quicker than painting them all by hand. So in a way, a figure like this is easier for me to paint because all the hard work's done for me.
And what advice would you give to someone tackling, a Carl Rudick or a Pedro Fernando the first time? Where they are, like, a lot of decisions have been made for you. It's very easy to get lost.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. Probably, trust the sculpt. Generally, the sculptors have a really good eye for all these details, right? So you don't need to do anything fancy. Just let the sculpt do all the talking, and leverage that detail. Use little washes. Dilute your paints with your magic mix or whatever, and let that detail work for you. But honestly, the real difficulty with those figures is the scale jump, because you're generally working with larger surfaces, and so you've got you really have to understand how to highlight and work with volumes more than you do on a normal figure, I think. What was your experience painting a large figure?
I painted a large figure, I guess, very early on in my bust painting journey. And so I got lost plenty of times on areas. To elaborate on lost, just seeing it in a vacuum and trying to make it look good there and then.
Yeah.
And that's probably not trusting the sculpt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good point, Rapid, that it is telling that a quick painter like Deno is losing time on the face, but this face really warrants that extra time. Because I think if you don't, it just won't look good, because that's where all the details packed. So
one thing to keep in mind as well, Al, this is a big figure. Like this is a massive scale. So, and yeah, for me to have done I guess this amount of work in 3 hours, most people would probably lose their brain. So I'm not too unhappy with the pace. But yeah, you're right. You need to nail that element.
Well, that's the thing, right? Fundamentally, where your speed comes from is confidence in your brushstrokes.
Yeah.
And this piece has been a really good example of what confidence in brushstrokes looks like. Like it's a consistent, like your brush is dancing, it's bouncing across the piece. It's moving from neck to nose, ear to stomach without stopping and thinking. And that's both experience, but it's also repetition, right?
Yeah.
So
Uh, anyone can do that, mate, but people just don't paint as much as me, and so they don't.
yeah.
It's as straightforward as that. I think what we might do. Yeah, so do you think gold or do you think rusted metal will look better here?
Uh if you do a gold crown, it's got to be like that super bashed verdigris gold that's almost like I think it's the Spanish orc gold sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking like if you do like a beaten iron or an iron crown would be really cool, right?
Well, I think the rust will look
Yeah,
really good. That dark brown rusty color will
yeah.
feel really cool against the
Your fallen angel creep. What was his name? Idrisil or whatever it
yeah,
was.
Yggdrasil. Yeah.
Idrisil. The crown you did on because he has a weird crown. No, sorry, the fallen angel has a crown, like a crown of iron, right?
Yeah.
Bolted on her head or whatever the
He's
case may
got
be.
a crown of sticks.
Yeah, her crown is a candidate maybe, and instead of obviously having the red uplight, you can do rust.
I do lean towards the rusty iron because I think that bright orange will really contrast with.
Is he going to get like maybe a gold medallion? And you could do both.
Yeah. So beaten metal medallion, gold metal medallion with verdigris,
Yeah,
and then a rusty bangles and rusty
crown. Yeah,
crown. All right, that works.
but I don't think I think you can still go pretty pingy with the iron crown and bangles, right? Like I would still be looking to catch a fair bit of light on the top of those
Yeah,
bangles.
you'll yeah. We'll have
Yeah.
yeah, we'll have areas of pure rust, and then we'll have areas of
Obsidian spikes would be a really cool choice, Albert. If we're going to do the black mouth,
yeah.
they'll probably clash a bit.
I shan't be doing obsidian spikes. Let's start this black mouth idea off actually.
I reckon you got to get some blue into that black too. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think
Like to get that slick look. I think it's got to have either some purple or blue.
we'll definitely put some blue in there, but it'll be late in the piece.
Yeah,
I want to just build up quite a few layers of dilute black that'll create sort of like an inky look. And then I think we might even gloss varnish it, at the end.
it's going to have to be glossed. Yeah.
Yeah. I've hung out. Hung away from painting this model for a while, actually.
Yeah, you've sat on this for ages, eh?
Yeah, yeah. And now that I'm doing it, I'm sort of like, why did I wait so long to do this? Like, this is just my jam. And every part of this is just like,
I like this more than I like all the the girly stuff.
yeah,
I don't mean girly. I mean actual. Like
female figures.
the huntress and
Yeah,
pixie and all that sort of stuff.
yeah. I just like painting different stuff, keeping the eye in. It's hard.
Yeah, I know.
It's hard to just stick with one thing all the time.
Oh, you know what could be a vibe
What?
if we pull it off really well and subtle. You want subtlety and sophistication.
Yep.
What about the fact that that crown looks pretty fucking uncomfortable, man?
Yep.
Let's create some soreness around the crown on his forehead
I like.
and the top of his head.
I like.
Let's make it really look like it fucking hurts.
Oof. This is coming along a treat. Yeah, so we'll do this piece in gold, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
But not your traditional gold.
No, we'll go for a more beaten gold with.
Yeah, burnished. Is that it? Like where it's like it shines a bit more silvery than gold.
Yep. And I just can't get enough. Why would he wear a crown that hurts, mate? Because he has to. Because he's the king of the vampires. This is the original crown of the first vampire. So he's recognised by his authority, mate. You can make anything work if you come up with a shitty law reason for it.
Because he's dead. So let's start there. He doesn't feel pain, but his body would still be afflicted the same way, right?
Oh, there's another good answer. Buck's on fire.
Same with like I would be doing some rashy red sort of stuff around where the bangles have been.
Yep.
Got a couple of rings too.
I think we'll do the rings in the same gold.
Yeah.
That makes the most sense.
It's a really well balanced figure.
It's an awesome figure. I'm sitting here just going, man, I'm a fuckwit for not painting this earlier. I think I had this on like four or five polls, and it never got any votes. I was always tossing it up, and no one was like keen on it. So
No one was picking up what you're putting down. Eh?
nah.
I'm picturing him to have the same voice as is it
Bill
Nye
Nye,
or whatever?
Bill Nye, yeah.
Nye, yeah, yeah.
From
Yeah,
Underworld.
He's a bit Victor-esque, isn't he?
Yeah. And I just can't get enough. I think about it every night and day. All right, and now for the magic touch. And yes, it's a contrast paint.
You got the touch.
You got the power.
Powerful song, that one, eh?
It is 38,000. What is wrong with you people? Do something with your lives. What can I sing for you, Al? Ah, Edelweiss, Edelweiss, every morning you greet me, small and white, clean and bright. You look happy to greet me. Blossom of snow, may you bloom and grow forever. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, bless my homeland forever.
We've given it a red hot go a few times over the time that the stream's been operating, Jared. It's pretty brutal when you get about 10 in a row, because it just becomes 10 minutes of Shannon Knoll. Like,
What about me? It isn't fair. I've had enough now. I want my share. Can't you see? I want to live.
I see we just.
You just take more. You just take more than you give. I see winners.
Hey, what's up, Bobby? What's up, bud?
Oh,
How are you?
go, Mole Man.
Just in time, moment.
The Divinals. Which track, mate? Which track from the Divinals?
Touch yourself, isn't it? Isn't that the Divinal song?
When I think about you, I touch myself.
Yeah,
I don't want anybody else. Oh no. Oh no.
Was Sharon in the chat this afternoon?
No. Oh, outstanding.
Monday nights is truly a party.
All right. What am I singing? I don't want anybody else. When I think about you, I touch myself. Oh, I don't want anybody else. Oh no. Oh no. So the original the Carol Rudy box art from Bland has these bangles in gold with verdigris. It's fucking unreal, man. Fucking hell. It just they look so fucking good. This whole figure is just ridiculous in the flesh.
Oh, have you seen it up close?
Yeah, yes.
Did you see
Yeah.
this at scale?
Yeah, that scale. Carol had a stand there. It was awesome. I went and sort of chatted to him and stuff, and he had Sarah from the Hunter sitting there as well, which had just released. And he's like, oh, you have a look at the box art stuff, and he didn't know who I was. It's like, oh, thanks, man, showing us stuff, and then somehow he went up and looked at the stuff, and because that was when I had the Angel and Demon, and he was like, oh,
Yeah.
who did that? And someone pointed me out, and he came over to me. He's like, oh man, you've painted so many of my models. It's awesome. Because I've done pretty much every
You've done
fucking
pretty much everything,
yeah
haven't you?
everything he's done. Yeah. But I haven't done any of his
Quite,
big dragons.
I actually like the dragons. I think they're pretty cool.
They're awesome. I haven't done one. I wonder if I will at one point. Maybe I will, but
I think you could have some fun with that,
yeah.
because I reckon you'd chuck a mount on it.
You could. All right, this has been a productive stream of excellence. I'm just going to do a little tweak on the metals and start to get some shape to those. Let's do a little bit more of his black tar mouth as well.
We're doing the drips as well, yeah, those big.
Yep.
Might be an editor's choice incoming, mate.
Oh, calm down.
Call Dave.
I should. Every time I fucking paint something, I should be like, Dave, come on, mate. Hook a brother up. Don't leave me hanging, Colwell. Guy stitches me up all the time.
Yeah, get you.
He is out to get me. He just wants me to know that he knows I'm there. He sees me.
Yeah.
But he's still better than me. He just needs me to know. Every now and then he's just like, hey, Dad, just relax. Got you covered, son. I always, because I always seem to nail Carl Rudick's stuff. Like I'm always really chuffed with how I've done them. I wonder if it is just like that slightly bigger canvas, you just feel like you got more freedom, or
Might be the subject matter, man. Might just be that
yeah,
like the idea flows more for you, or I mean, this is much closer to sort of what you've been raised on, eh? When you think
yeah,
about it, painting wise.
yeah.
You know. Yeah.
But I just yeah, I
Look at
haven't.
these bangles, mate. Once you just hit this with some touches, like on the edges, it's like fucking ping,
I know, I
man.
know,
You know it, eh? You
I
set it
know,
up nicely. I'll give you that.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I haven't done a Carl Rudick piece where of the bust and stuff where I've been like, oh yeah, this is average, this sucks. They've all just been like stuff I've been, oh man, fucking crush that, you know?
I feel like I know it sounds brazen, man, but like maybe just a little bolder orange, but not towards the brighter, maybe towards the deeper, like
So
reddish almost.
I wanna get the light before I go back in with that really rusty like dark bits.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, I agree. With the rust isn't, you know, lay down.
saturation is what we're looking for.
Yeah, we need a little bit of that really reddish rust.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
but we'll do that after we've finished these.
We need a little bit of that saturation.
Saturation generation coming at you. That should be the title of our podcast.
Yeah, the saturation generation. Yeah. So, being that I've been dabbling in a little bit of gaming, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of Warhammer 40k.
Yeah.
I've been trying to obviously get up to speed, get up to scratch, and
Yep.
learn a little bit here or there. And I saw a video from Tabletop Tactics, which was like an old Emperor's Children army refurbished. It's one of their most recent videos, all right?
Yeah.
And the lead guy on that show has this line that has stuck with me. So whenever he sees something he likes, he says, "That's a nice piece of cougar."
All right.
And that's all I can think of now whenever I see something miniature based that I like, like,
All right.
that's a nice piece of cougar.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It got me. It sounds like the Shame Wizard from fucking Big Mouth. Oh, yeah, look, this bangles. That's a nice piece of poo.
Oh, the bangles.
Fucking made me laugh.
I got to do these bangles now. I got to finish them. I can't stop now. I got
Going all the way.
to see the bangles because I'm fucking vibing on bangles and I'm loving it. I'm loving everything. Big Geno's on the tear tonight.
On the table with Big Deno.
Yeah.
That
Tabletop
could
time.
be anything, you know that? That can be many things. On the table with Big Deno.
Tabletop time.
Fuck, look at his hand. I wouldn't want to be touched by that, eh? Skeggly and shit. Cut your nails, mate. Wow, subtle.
Yeah, subtle Deno, mate.
Subtle Deno's out and prowling the town. I thought you were going to go. Oh, there it is. Let's go.
It's coming. It's coming. Just relax, mate. Subtle Deno. We're building it up, mate. We're building it up. You don't need to just show everything, all of your wares at once, mate. Got to tease a little bit.
You really want to see pop on bang. Yeah. Can snap in some chips as well, like some, the black.
Yep. Yep. I shall. What did you use? Crystal clear tonight, isn't it?
Everything.
As in,
Yeah, yeah. It always has been that. Hasn't it?
yeah. But I tweaked some settings, and I've got a feeling that this is better quality than what I was providing before.
So are you quietly loving this little Eldar army I'm painting?
It's adequate, mate. I'm never going to rave about. I'm never going to rave about Eldar. They're fine. You're doing a fine job.
Loves it. It's
a nice piece of poo.
It's like a hobby. It's like a hobby crackhead, isn't it? Like pouring all over a new batch.
Oh yeah.
That's a nice.
Oh yeah. That's what you like to see, isn't it? Oh yeah.
I was bringing us back down.
Thank you, Al. You, Jared? I assume you're talking about my medal. In which case, thank you.
Have you acquired anything of late? Have you been thinking? Have you made any offers? You've been trying to.
Oh, that's a bit much. What did I try? I tried to buy something. What did I try and buy? Oh yeah, I had a dip at another Pizarski, but yeah, no good.
No luck.
No luck.
The unicorn.
It'll happen.
It'll happen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fascinating thing, Twitch miniature painters. Honestly, I don't know how long I could sit there watching someone paint for. I've sat down and watched people paint, and then got really fucking bored because they'll spend 2 hours talking and not do any actual painting, and I'm not that hard up for entertainment that I want to watch someone talk for 2 hours. I'm there to see painters paint, so paint for me, you fucks.
Yeah, I'm a. I think it's all about the painting.
Yeah, but then I like Mini Dan. I enjoy watching his streams on occasion. I don't get in there a lot, but every now and then I'll just be like, oh, I wonder what Mini Dan's doing. Go have a bo peep, and be
About
doing.
CHK, mate.
CHK is always good for a fucking watch, and then you don't have to worry about what he's actually talking about because he never talks in English unless you say, "Hey, mate, I'm here."
Yeah. Tell you what, he's been a bit of an inspiration of late, CHK,
He's
because he juggles army painting and display painting so well.
Yeah.
And I think that's something I want to do. So
all right.
teach me your ways, Tony.
This should be the moment of truth now when we can actually see
The grand reveal. Here comes the pop.
close. This is just the yellow, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's starting to come alive.
What are you going to take it up to?
Uh,
Like ivory?
Yeah,
or just
I think we'll go. I think we'll go to off-white ivory color.
How much Eldar do I have to go, Jared? Well, so what I set myself for the first month was 2 tanks, 10 guardians, 6 bikes, and 3 characters. And that's been done. And next stuff I've got to do for this month, I want to do 10 Die Avengers, another tank, 10 Banshees, a Seer Council on bikes, and a Farseer on bike. Yeah, so 1,500 to 2K, somewhere in there. And that would be my sort of big sort of army thing for the year. And then it's time to start thinking about Queensland Model Expo. Holy Model Expo.
Should be good fun to have everyone there this year.
It's going to be great. We're going to have a blast.
All right, boom! Here comes the
coming up. Are you coming up, Jared? Yeah, love it, mate.
Yes,
Get the crew together.
that'd be good. Be an overload of painters.
Oh, nice one. Yeah, that's the same for Bunny's fams up there. So works out pretty good for Benny and her.
All right, Sparkle.
And I think Jim's going up as well. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Jim is indeed planning on coming up.
In Ipswich. Yeah, nice. We'll have to maybe go out for dinner one night. I won't order the fucking spiciest fried rice I've ever had in my life.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
Quite a return to form, mate.
Thank you.
What kind of plinth is he on? Just a square?
Just a square, yeah. Just a
We don't
square.
often talk about that, eh? Like plinth choice and stuff like that. We don't really.
It's a crucial part. I mean, I've behind my head, just to that side is with a big pile
The
of
stash,
plinths.
yeah.
Yeah, and I have a couple of rules I sort of try to follow.
Wait, mate. Hasali. I do want to
Hasali,
become famous, please.
tell us, what do we have to do, Hasali? Just give us the word.
Give me the answer, please.
If you say Big Deno, you win, I will go and spend $1,000 on your website. That's all you've got to say. Big Deno, you win.
You win. You can do it.
Come on, Hasali. Come on, mate. You got 10 seconds.
10.
9, 7, 6,
Oh, come on, mate. You got this.
4,
Stumble it out.
3,
2.
2, 1.
Here, the band hammer's coming
Mate,
down.
that's $1,000 you've just cost yourself, Hasali. See you later, dickhead. Yeah, that's fun. We have fun. We have fun here in the saturation population.
In population saturation. Yes.
Good times.
Right now, we're actually in Texture Town.
We are in Texture Town.
Yeah. Texture Town's just like a little off. You know, it's like the slummy part of saturation.
Yeah.
Saturation City.
All right, so that feels pretty good to me. It looks okay on that, but when you go back here, oof, are you feeling it?
Yeah, I am. I might. Maybe the sheen needs to be a bit wider.
Bit wider, you reckon? We'll see.
Bit wider, or adding a secondary one across the top band, like the.
We'll see. Yeah, bit further up. Yep, cool.
Yeah.
And then we'll add a little bit more of that rust. That's going to work for the helmet, and I feel like it's separate enough from the skin that we're not going to get in too much trouble. So we're cooking.
The ready rust is going to go a long way for it too.
We're cooking with some gas here, Bucks. I reckon.
I think so, mate. What a return to form.
It is.
Look at that mouth too. Perfect, sickly, and slick.
So I figured out how to do that type of mouth.
You just let it run, yeah.
Well, you got to build up a couple of layers of black using dilute layers, because what that does is it lets a little bit of what's happening underneath come through.
Yeah.
And so you sort of get a really much nicer looking black when you can just.
Are you using AK right now as well?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so you're getting AK's natural. You know how it's got the slight glossiness to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, when we add some gloss to that, that should look pretty cool. That should look awesome, actually, when we add some gloss to it.
We've made some good decisions tonight, my friend.
I concur with your assessment. We've got to figure out the eyes.
Well, I think now you may be able to go with a movement. Maybe. Because the black on the mouth might give you enough space.
That's a good point, really. I dig it. I dig it. Cool. All right. Good stream. Thanks for coming on, Bucks. It's good to see you, mate.
No problem.
Enjoyed the
Good to see
chinwag.
the chat. Good to see everyone. Good to chat to everyone.
Let's find someone we can raid. Amber could work too. Amber could work. But I just can't get enough. Boy, I think about it every night and day. See you, Alex.
See you, everyone.
You're welcome,
See you, Alex.
Mick Back. Thanks for joining the team. Thanks, Jared.
No, it's Big Mac. Big Mac. I'm just going to call you Big Mac.
No, it's Mick Back, mate. Get in.
I'm never going to get that right.
I just think about like this. Just think about like this. Miggy's got back.
Yeah.
And then you're in. And you're fine. We should go raid Pascal because he was in here chatting before.
Sure.
And he's a fucking specimen.
Coming off from that. It's a nice figure.
Oh, QJ, you've timed it to perfection, mate.
KJ, that's a nice piece.
We're going to raid. But have a look at what I did. I did this tonight. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Get that up, you QJ, you shit fuck. All right, no, we're going to raid Pascal. So we shall raid Pascal. Is he listening to Paramore?
Getting a probably not. Let's do this metal panel first. Metal panel.
All right, friends. Have a wonderful evening. I'll catch you on Wednesday. Probably be board games, but I might be painting if Koki can't come along. So talk soon. Toodaloo. Bye bye.